Good afternoon, everybody. Uneducated Economist here. So, I didn't read the article. I was just looking at the headlines, but apparently Trump was interviewed today saying that we're ready. We're ready to sign this thing, ready to get this stimulus package passed. And if you've been following my channel, you know that it's all about perception. I mean, Trump is playing the game just as much as anybody else is out there, and that is a carrot that they are dangling out in front of you. Kaplan has already admitted, this is the Fed president from was it Dallas? Is that where Kaplan's from? I can't remember what branch he's from, but he was in an interview, and we were talking about this in just the video that we did the other day, and he was saying that the household savings is off the charts. It's high, and the consumer has been there throughout pretty much this entire recession. He said there's no He said that this was a unique recession because of it. Typically you would see a downturn in unemployment, and then you would see a drop off in spending, right? And in consumer spending. But we didn't see that really take place this time because of all the stimulus that came from the government. They kept people with the payroll protection program. They kept people on a paycheck. They had the extra $600 a week, so the consumer was out there spending. The typical downturn in a recession, the things that you would see, we didn't quite experience because of that stimulus package. And because of that stimulus package, we are still able to continue to spend into the current environment right now, the current economy. Here's the problem. It's all about perception. See, people are still confident with the economy, with the Fed, with things that are going on, because they are anticipating the stimulus package. And he even admitted that. Kaplan did inside of that speech. He said that so long as, how did he put it? He said people have a belief that there will be some sort of stimulus package passed. And so long as they have that, they'll continue to be confident with the economy. It was, I wish I could remember exactly what he said, but it was something of that nature. Okay? And so the whole stimulus package isn't necessarily about putting money into the pockets of the people, because they already know the problem with that. When last time they did that, they caused the asset prices just to go off the charts. Now look at housing, look at stocks, look at bonds, look at everything out there, and the prices are just exploded. And it's because they just gave everybody all this money, and they're like, well, guess where it goes? All right? So now they're sitting there thinking, okay, how do we deal with this? Because now if we drop, like they said, we got everything accommodated. Okay, this is what the Fed is saying. We've created a situation that is now providing the accommodations to households and businesses. Well, those accommodations, that's basically saying that we have provided an environment where you can go deeper into debt. And it isn't going to help. And they know this. They already said it. It was just like, if we can, putting a situation in where municipalities, like state and local governments, can go deeper into debt is not going to help. It's actually going to cause the problem to get worse. They have to figure out a way to relieve some of that debt, whether it's cut spending or increase taxes or do something, but to provide an environment that these municipalities can go deeper into debt is going to create a situation that's even worse than what we're experiencing now. And they know this. And so this is the whole reason for the central bank digital currencies. This is the biggest talk. Like right now, if you type in central bank digital currencies, you can find an endless amount of articles about the matter. And I mean, it just goes on and on. And in fact, there was some talks that happened last week where the central bank digital currency, or the central banks around the world, were talking about the digital currencies. They were talking about it in a partnership kind of relation, but China was excluded from it. Isn't that interesting? China is the only one who actually has a digital currency that is up and running. They are doing transactions at this point, right now. I mean, it is still the early stages of it, is still the preliminary programs, but they are operating a central bank digital currency right now. And now this is kind of the biggest problem, because a lot of people say that China and Russia and whatever, they're going to take over the world as far as the currencies. Frustrating, right? Yes, there is a coordinated movement to step away from the dollar as far as a reserved currency. That is a fact. There is no way that anybody can deny that. Okay? Is it going to happen? Yes. At some point in the future, the dollar will not be the world reserve currency. The nearest competitor is so far away from even thinking about taking over the dollar, which is the euro, that it is not even in the realms of possibilities right now. Okay? Whatever system that takes over the dollar right now is in its infancy. Will it happen fast? Probably. Once it starts the takeover, it'll happen very quick. Okay? But right now, if you look around the world, there is nothing that even comes close to competing with the dollar on a world trade level. So now with the central bank digital currencies that are now in play, with with China actually using it, other nations getting ready to deploy it. When this takes place, this is going to make the transfer of commodities from one country to another and the transfer of payment so smooth, so slick, so easy that there will not be a use for the dollar. But how far out into the future that is anybody's guess. And it's not happening tomorrow. So I think about this article that I was reading where it was talking about the Federal Reserve and pretty much begging Congress to pass a stimulus package. And it is in my belief that the next stimulus package is going to have a digital currency component to it. Whether it's a full-on digital currency or some sort of, I don't know what is like a beta program or some kind of like preliminary program to an introductory program to get people used to the idea, to say, hey, it's no big deal, And they're gonna use a million excuses for it. Like the big one that I find, and this one I just don't get, but they're gonna say that there is so many people out there that are unbanked, right? They just don't have access to a bank, and I just find this I find it very confusing because I used to use a bank up until the lockdown, till the COVID lockdown. I would go into the bank and I would hand them my check, right? Occasionally, I would use a mobile deposit, right? I would just snap a picture of it and deposit it into my checking account. But for the most part, it was on the way home and it's at the grocery store, my bank. So I would just go right in there and just deposit my check. But when they shut everything down, they said you can't come into the lobby anymore. I started just doing the mobile deposits. And I found that a lot of different banking systems that I use, because I have a Venmo and PayPal, and they'll all take a mobile deposit. Okay? And people say, yeah, but not everybody has a cell phone. Well, no, you're right. Not everybody does have a cell phone, but pretty much everybody has access to a cell phone, whether it's your phone or your friend's phone or something. Okay? Almost everybody. Like, I see the homeless people out here on the Riverwalk talking on their cell phones. I see them making purchases with a debit card. Okay? These people don't have addresses, but yet they have access to these things. So for somebody to say that, this is to help out the unbanked, I find that to be disingenuous, because you don't need a bank. I don't need a bank anymore. I got my phone. That's all you need. You don't even need a phone. You just need access to a phone for a minute. Anyway, that's just me kind of going off on that a little bit. But the central bank digital currency, they're going to introduce it there as far as a stimulus part of things. That's my opinion. They're going to say, here's your coin or your wallet. We're going to enter coin right into your wallet. Now you can spend that at leisure on whatever it is that you feel need to spend it on. And once it happens, it won't take long after that all the currency will disappear from circulation. And there will be a lot of ways that they're going to get it out of circulation. But mainly, they're going to charge you a deposit fee and a withdrawal fee. They're going to make it a nuisance to use cash. Anyway, I got to head back into work. I kind of just went off there. I wasn't really intending on ranting there like I did. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Uneducated Economist. I'll leave some links down in the description for you guys. You let me know.